Hi, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of This Freakin' Show, the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. I am your host, Travis T, and alongside me this evening, as always,
Awkward Colin
and Geek Cast Joe.
And this episode of This Freakin' Show is brought to you by Firepit Bar and Grill of Peotone, Illinois. If you're looking for a burger and beer that you could get for just, oh geez, Joey, how much was that burger and beer?
Was it $7.99?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you.
I think it's $7.99.
$6.99.
Was it $6.99? I added $1. You know what? I tell you what. Pay $7.99 and tell them to just put $1 towards our food the next time we go there.
Oh fuck! If you want to find a place where you get burger and beer for guaranteed under $10 Monday and Wednesday, check out Firepit Bar. Check out Firepit Bar and Grill Peotone. You can find on Facebook at Firepit Bar or on the website firepitbar.com. I'm not gonna lie. I'm okay botching that once out of I don't know how many times we did it. So.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Even at $7.99 for a burger and a beer, you're still cheaper than most just a beers in Chicago.
That's true. That's true.
So
we're gonna go with guaranteed less than $10, but only on Monday and Wednesday because Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I really don't recall what the burger and beer prices are. But go on Monday and Wednesday, get beer and beer. Go on the other day, check out. I mean, I think like every other Friday, do crab legs. How many places do crab legs? You know?
I know this Friday we just had, they had frog legs.
Yeah.
I love frog legs.
I had them for the first time, I want to say it was about a month ago. Didn't
I
hate
tried
them.
a little bit.
Yeah, they were different. I mean, and everyone says like, everything tastes like chicken. To me, it was similar to chicken, but it seemed very aquatic.
Yeah,
So,
I'll give it that.
it was like a watery meat to me. Like it wasn't like juicy. It was kind of watery, and maybe people like that. Maybe that's what frogs supposed to taste like. I don't know. Not a frog guy. I tried it once, just not for me.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Just not my cup of tea, if you will.
I dig them. They're not, I don't know. It's not a lot of meat for the amount of work that you're putting into eating them, but.
Exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have an awesome show for you. If you did check out the Facebook that we posted up earlier on Sunday, which is today, but doesn't come out till Saturday. We are interviewing Hilton today. He has something new and exciting that's coming out for his Zombie with a Shotgun. I'm going to call it a franchise. That's a franchise, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Zombie with a Shotgun franchise. Brand. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Before we get to that, I just want everyone to know, about a week ago, I put out a Snapchat to everyone who's on my Snapchat about a new podcast that I'm starting up with a friend of mine called Just Freakin' Wrestling, JFW podcast. And basically all we're doing is we're focused on indie wrestling. So I Snapchat everyone to make sure they go and they follow that page. And some of you came back asking if I was leaving the show, if this show was ending, if it was being short, whatever, was discontinuing it or whatever. I'm going to show you that I'm not going anywhere. This show's not going to go anywhere. This is just an addition to it. What I'm hoping to focus on is maybe growing a network of podcasts. It's going to start with This Freaking Show and Just Freaking Wrestling. So this podcast is going to be completely different from This Freaking Show. The only thing is I'm branching off of this freakingshow.com website to use Just Freaking Wrestling on that for the time being until we launch the actual website for it solo. But yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Travis T will be here on This Freaking Show along Awkward Colin and Geek Cast Show.
That's me.
Colin. That's him. There. I would just be doing a separate show with my buddy Dizzle J on the Just Freaking Wrestling podcast. That's going to be on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and all that, just like this is here, but it's going to be completely separate. But I'm not going anywhere, so we'll be okay. Anything you guys want to add or talk about before I get hold of Hilton, get him on here, and get the chit-chatting?
Nope.
Nah, I'm good.
No, good. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead, plug a podcast, and when we come back, hopefully Hilton's here with us.
What up, everybody? It's Razor.
This is Fear.
And MDI.
And we are Fifth Cast, the premier show of the FYFC Podcast Network.
We like to talk. Hell, we'll talk about anything.
World events and personal stories.
Technology and pop culture.
And once even, pterodactyl porn. Seriously, that's a thing. Google it.
New episodes are available every Friday on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. Also, subscribe to the video podcast on youtube.com/FYFC podcasts.
I'm not sure why you were yelling, but that was excellent.
Now fuck your face and back to the show.
We said normal voice.
I know, but I like that one.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and we have Hilton with us. Hilton, thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Oh man, thank you guys. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. Just in case not all our viewers know exactly who you are, kind of give just a brief bio of who Hilton is.
Sure. Well, I'm right now I'm in the process of working on a project, as you know, Zombie with a Shotgun. We shot Zombie with a Shotgun this past summer in August. I went through crowdfunding. It was a project that I started about 4.5 years ago on a web series. And the web series was consists of 5 episodes. And that, throughout the years, it was getting more stronger and more popular, where I had no choice to create a comic and, was going out there looking for funds for a feature film, which I decided to go crowdfunding. So we shot the film in August. It was an indie low-budget project. And we are right now in the process of still getting post-production. We are hopefully should have it done in a couple months. And Zombie with a Shotgun is basically a zombie film that throws all the whole generic zombie films out the window, where the zombie will be following him. It would be the point of view of a zombie. He's the hero of the film. So that gives a little bit, it's not like we haven't seen that before, but it definitely has that little bit of a different twist of the zombie genre.
Right, I remember. That's one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that a lot of people is, the project is pretty, it's been pretty awesome to me, and for the fact that how the fans and the audience received it, and it was just pretty awesome. Just like the past, like I said, 4.5 years, the fans have just kept growing, and they enjoy those 5 episodes. And sometimes I'm like, wow, so I'm pretty impressed of how the fans received it, and it's helped me with that support to keep on growing. And again, we just hopefully this feature film will satisfy the audience again.
Right. Now, where are you with the film? Is it close to being released?
Yeah, we're in editing stages right now of the film. So we hopefully should have it done around, I would say around May or June. So now, that's when the whole politics come in, where, what is politics? Just the whole, the business aspect comes in. Basically, who would be interested, shopping the project, and hopefully that process can be something that won't be a difficult process, and basically have a distribution company or some that will the project, taking the project and releasing the project. And according to the distribution company, that's out of my hands. A lot of people always tell me, we would love to have it come out this year, and we will definitely have the film finished and ready to go. But it all comes down to the distribution company that will basically have the slot for Zombie Shotgun to come out. So whenever they would say, we're going to release this film in such and such a month, that's where I have to go. But that's where we at, and there's a couple of distribution companies is really interested in picking up the project. But again, it all comes down to finishing the project and them seeing it and saying, okay, we like it.
Tremendous.
Yeah, so this is exciting for me because you are now the first guest to be on more than 2 times, which is awesome. It's always awesome to talk with you. And the last few times we talked a lot about the movie and the crowdfunding and everything you did. But now we have you on the show this evening because you emailed me saying you now are working with Rat and Crow Publishing to create the Zombie with a Shotgun comic book.
Yes.
Okay. Do you kind of want to give me an idea who Rat and Crow Publishing are and how you ended up with them?
Absolutely. That's really exciting news. We I would say about 3 to 4 weeks ago, we put out a press release and we came out with officially that Zombie with a Shotgun is going to be a comic and it's going to be released. Rats and Crows Publishing out in Canada were the best choice that I chose to for them to come in and take in Zombie with a Shotgun. They seemed like they were interested in it. They were a company that was willing to make real comic books, visual, something that you could touch. They were doing prints. A lot of the companies were basically wanted to take it out as in digital. I mean, I could actually do that myself. You know what I mean? I could put it out as digital, but I needed a company to push it. Because I eventually I can't do everything. I'm I have a team, I have a film team, but they we're not in the business of really knowing comic books and knowing what avenues, where venues to go and figure out where to promote it. So they were the guys that were like, yeah, dude, we're gonna make prints. We're gonna print out comic books and everything, and we're gonna try to spread it out as much as possible, as much demand there is out there. So, really excited because we was working on the comic book for the last 2 years, with the great, artist that I brought on board named Simone Guglielmini from Italy, who also draws for Near Death for Image Comics. So him coming in on board was really important, because you have well-known established artists coming on to draw a comic, that draws attraction to publishing companies, and also fans, fans that follow his work say, oh, he's drawing up Zombie with a Shotgun. So again, we've announced that officially will be coming out the month of June. We release Rats and Crows. We have different comic books coming every month. I felt June was the best month for Zombie Shotgun to come out, so we have a pre-order page on their site for Rats and Crows. So if anybody wants to basically get a digital copy, they can get a digital copy, or they want to get a regular, comic. And there's also various different covers you can get. So it's pretty cool that they decided to do various different covers and different types of comic book packages that you want for getting Zombie with a Shotgun.
Absolutely. So where does the comic book take up the story? Does it retell some of the stuff that we've already seen in the web? Forget the word, is web series, or does it?
I would say it picks up definitely where with the comic books you can definitely do a lot illustrate and compared to films where the budget actually dictates the story that you have to tell,
right?
Due to the budget again. And so the comic book definitely goes to the heart of the story, where you get to see from the very beginning, and it was the fast pace of this whole story being told in the comic book. And from the comic book to the web series and to the film that will be released soon, they're all parallel to the story. So you're definitely going to see bits and pieces from the web series and bits and pieces from the film. So you basically captured you could catch the story in each one, because they're all parallel with each of them. I would say more the film and the comic, of course. The feature film and the comic, of course, definitely has big time similarities towards each other, and those are the ones that really parallel with each other. So,
gotcha.
That's the cool thing.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because it's sort of you're gonna get the story either way if you're a big fan of this. It's just you're gonna get it. Depending on when the film comes out, you're going to get it one way faster than the other, possibly.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I would say the comic book probably would be probably be the one that would be out before anything. Again, due to the fact that distribution company. All depends on the scheduling. But right now, that looks like that's the one that's probably going to hit the market first. Since it's already marked and scheduled for the release in June.
Right. Fantastic.
Mhm. So, now obviously this is the first issue that you're putting out with Freakin Crew Publishing, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, is this the first of like a series, or like you just want to do the one and be happy with that, or what's the whole plan with going forward with the comics?
We basically have already 3 issues completely done. You can say, well, 2 issues completely done and working on the third one. So this is something that I want to continue to do, and something that keeps on going. I figured that, again, being that the fans took in the project very well and they liked it, I felt that I had a responsibility to hey, look, a lot of people would love to have, a project to go viral and be up there, with, again, I'm an independent, person, an independent project. And again, I lucked out with that whole fan base of coming on and saying, oh, we love this. So I felt like, hey, look, I'll do the feature film. We get lucky, maybe we get a sequel, and we get super lucky, we get a TV series out of it. But, the thing that what I could control is the comic book. I definitely control the comic book for something to keep on going regardless of what happens with the other mediums. So definitely the Zombie with a Shotgun is something that's going to be continuing to keep on going as long as possible. We already scheduling with Rats and Crows. We are definitely going to create a series. It's going to be a continuing series. Right now we're looking to get 5 issues out. And from there, of course, we combine it to the graphic novel, and then from there, seeing how people received it, depends on how fast we'll get out the next issue. But regardless what, it's still going to be something that's going to be continuing for a very long time.
Fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I'm looking at so I'm looking at the list of there's, because you have 5 different ways you can purchase this comic. They range from you range it from either $2.99, where you can buy just a digital copy of it, all the way down to $17.99, where you get, it looks like 3 comic books with different different covers, plus a digital and plus an exclusive art print. So I mean,
Correct.
Anyone can pay any kind of money and they're going to get something great out of it, which is awesome. So when someone's sister says, well, I can't really afford a $17.99, it's still for $2.99, which is awesome. You're giving them different packages and offers. So
yeah, absolutely, and that was like one of the the things that I really liked about Rats and Crows, is because again, a lot of publishing companies, they just wanted to go straight out digital, and I was cool with that. All right, that's how the industry has become. It's become something that it's something that digital is the way to go for sales and everything. And I did a lot of research and trying to figure out, which one should I go? They're all doing digital. And when Rats and Crows came on and they were like, dude, we're going to do prints. That was very exciting, coming from the old school of, comics. I mean, all of us, we love that.
yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like holding it in your hands and smelling the ink and feeling the texture of the pages. It's digital is nothing like it.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah, for me, when it does come to digital, whether it be like a digital video game, a movie, or anything like that, that's just it's a quick alternative to something you want to get now. But at the same time, it's like if I'm seeing a good example would be I downloaded and purchased NBA 2K17 video game onto the PlayStation 4. I don't own the disc. I don't own the case. I just downloaded it onto my system. For some reason, I kind of regret that, because I actually like having the cases. I like actually, having ownership of that disc. Maybe that's just because, I'm used to, like a DVD, they have the digital copies and stuff like that. You can download on tablets. I get why you do that. Maybe it's easier, more convenient, stuff like that, but it's not the same as actually owning something that you can hold. I'm not.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, and
Yeah,
hold and display, and you can let someone borrow it if you wanted to, or you can't do that with just a digital thing as easily.
Yeah, and I'm by no means like, I don't read a lot. I don't, there are a few comic books. I mean, from my childhood, I read and everything. I'm not a big comic book collector and stuff like that. But if it came to like a comic book, I would want to be able to hold that comic book. I want to be able to tell somebody, hey, look at my new comic I have, and I can just pull up the show and show them. I don't want to, thumb through my tablet, get to, the Kindle or whatever the hell you have to have on it. It's just like, it's not the same. It's not that childhood that, I remember, and that's, I like thinking back in the day about stuff like that, like having that book and everything. I'm not a digital shit like whatsoever. I mean, I got books I don't even read. At least I have books, so
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels strange, right? Sometimes it just feels strange when you download something. It's like it just feels so strange, but I guess it's just the way it is now. But I definitely agree with that whole, having that artwork in hand, and looking at it and just, it's very different than seeing it on the screen, where you definitely see the artwork right in front of your face and holding it. You could turn the pages back and forth.
Yeah, well, it's like I mean, like there are videos sometimes I get bored on Facebook, and they show like kids from who are like 10, 15 years old, and they hand them a CD and they have no idea what the hell it is, because all music is downloaded on like iPods and their iPhones and all this shit now. I was going through a bunch of stuff in my house, and I found this huge binder of CDs that are completely irrelevant nowadays. But it's like, I can't get rid of them because one day, if my iPod crashes, I got to knock on wood that the disc ain't scratched, but that iPod scratch, at least I got something to fall back on.
That is so true. And last year, vinyl had one of the best sales, records and everything in the last 10 years last year. And they said that people are, going back to the whole nostalgic of buying records and playing it on their record player, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, I don't know what that means, if it's a good sign or whatever, some sort of like nostalgic old school sort of back.
Well, it's sort of, you have to ask yourself the question of, do you want a product or do you want an experience? I mean, if you just want a product, an MP3 will get you through any music you want to listen to. I can listen to anything I want to on Spotify. But if I want the experience of putting an LP record onto my turntable and having a cocktail and listening to music in one place for 3 hours, like, I have to do that on vinyl.
No,
yeah, I agree. I think something on now with experience actually a little bit more further than that. Going to the store. And playing it. I think that whole thing together is just a whole experience. Where that's what we used to do, a long time ago. Now it's just download. But it's that whole losing that experience of going to the store, and looking at all the stuff and selection and taking your time and seeing it and holding it in your hands, bringing it back. And, you could go with your friends, your girl, whatever. Just that whole experience is, it's like the movie theater. Nothing beats that experience.
Absolutely.
Going to the movie theater. I think that's the key right there, is the experience.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree with you 100%. Like I remember being 16 years old and like going with my friends like FYE or Suncoast, whatever it is, going in the mall and hanging out, check out the new CDs that came out and DVDs and all that stuff. But I mean, nowadays you don't even gotta leave your couch to do that shit, and it's kind of, I mean, in my opinion, it's kind of sad because kids are getting away from actually going out and like purchasing something like at a register in a store that they had to drive to. I mean, that's all gone to the people who just want to sit there, pull their phone out, download the newest CD, and be like, okay, well, that's good enough.
Yeah, it's just same thing. Also, going when we used to go to, I mean, they still have it, but Barnes and Nobles and check out the magazines. Remember that?
Yeah.
All the magazine shops, it's all gone. But imagine that, going bookstores completely off the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
That
remember
experience going
like
to the bookstore.
when Borders closed in my town. I mean, that was my favorite bookstore growing up. So
How long ago was
Yeah,
Borders
no,
closed?
there was. Yeah, I remember that too.
at least a
Especially
decade.
in the like the mall, they took all the bookstores down.
Mm-hmm.
There's no book. If you really think about it, there's no bookstores in the mall anymore. I mean, where I'm here in New York, it's all gone.
Right.
Yeah,
Strange.
Yeah, it's weird.
everything's gonna be digital. Soon we're gonna be able to buy groceries online. Somebody will deliver them to the house. I love technology. Don't get me wrong. Without technology, I wouldn't have a podcast right now. But it's making the world lazy.
Absolutely.
And I'm guilty of it. I won't lie. Fucking like a month ago, instead of going to the store and buying socks, I just ordered them on Amazon. But at the time, I didn't want to drive all the way to the store to buy, just a pack of socks. And I'm guilty of it because the convenience is absolutely amazing. But that's what that's what technology is doing to our economy. It's just making people lazier, and it's unfortunate because you lose that nostalgia. Maybe my age. I am only 27. Maybe I'm past the nostalgia. Then maybe I don't have to go shop anymore. But maybe kids that who are 16, 17 should go out and experience that shit. So when they get older, they can understand why it was what it was. But,
Well, the economy's actually still about them.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I'm trying to think here. Oh crap! What was I gonna say? I had something and lost it. What the fuck? I hate that so much.
You're getting old, Travis.
I know, right?
Those 27 years are weighing you down, buddy.
Right? Your brain cells ain't what it used to be. Crap! What was I gonna say? Oh man. Yeah.
So what can we look forward
talk
to
about
with the
Frankie.
film? Is it following immediately the storyline of the web series, or does it recap some of it and then?
Yeah, you could definitely say it has that fast pace from how it just right away goes off to them in the run, them not knowing exactly what's going on, but they really do. There are some new bits and pieces, of course, add a lot more new pieces compared to the web series, and I give I give a lot of certain things there. There's drama, there's romance, of course. That was like a lot of the key elements from the original series. You got the blood, you got the zombies, and all that stuff. And I try to put all those elements in there and please everybody as much as possible. And the story does. There is more of a more of a story than just I did not. There's a reason for it all. Well, I'm go back. I did not dictate my film on special effects, blood and guts and everything like that.
Right.
I did not. I wanted to go and tell a story more of try to be as the web series is. In the web series, you don't see blood and guts and stuff like that.
Right.
And in the feature film, it's very similar to that. And again, a lot of the key reason for that happening is because of the budget. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's very expensive. To have all this blood and guts and everything like that. And I didn't want to. I was afraid that if it would go that route, that's what my film would be about, the blood and guts. I really wanted to stay away from that. I really wanted to, again, I wanted to do something. Again, I'm trying to do something, what people really liked about the series. They liked that it what it was from the 5 episodes, and I try to be just like the film, try to have that same sort of feel. It didn't have blood and guts. It had more of just a story, more of an atmospheric kind of thing going on. There's feelings and everything like that, and I think you get more out of it to me. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go that route. Kind of like it'd be similar to a lot of the other zombie films. And it's something for me to it's a challenge because I don't know how the audience will receive it, and I think that's really exciting as well. Also, because people, they receive the series, but remember they're very small episodes. The
Right.
series, each one is really short. And, that small attention span definitely, it's like oh, okay, 4 minutes went up. All right, it's cool. I like it. But then you got something that was like an hour, an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes, whatever it's going to be in there, but it's going to be close around there, see how much, people's like, I don't know. So, but I really, it's exciting. Again, we've done some cool stuff with the film and really exciting things with it. And I think it's going to be cool.
Tremendous.
So what's next in line? Like after the comic book is out, after the movie's done. I mean, you go back to doing more of the web series, or like possibly a sequel for the movie, or.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question.
It's the one I forgot.
And it's a good question. And for me, it's kind of like the $1 million question. It's like, what do I do? We have the comic book that's going to be releasing. We do have the first 5 web episodes, and do we go back to that? And make them more or more lively, more character centric and everything like that, or do we do a sequel? Do we go back into the crowdfunding world, or do I go out there and this time around, see if somebody, see what the whole Zombie with a Shotgun is all about? It's a product now. Can they see that and say, okay, we will put money into this. Now we'll put, when I mean money, make the film even much, have a really decent budget, and elevate it to the next stage where it's like, okay, now, we went to like super low to, low budget, and now we're gonna have like a real decent budget to make a film. So it's really it's a really hard question. I think that relies all on the film when it gets released of what how people receive it, what producers out there think they can do with it, or what else, or if it's up to me, eventually I can easily say, all right, let's go back into crowdfunding, let's do a sequel. That would be something that I think that's something that definitely can be done. I think that would be the ideal thing to go for next after everything. But again, I still have to wait.
I got you. Awesome. Hilton, I appreciate you coming on and talking with us again.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you still enjoy it, because sometimes I question why people want to talk to us. I don't get it sometimes. It's like, but I do appreciate you coming on. Before you go though, we're doing something new with all our guests towards the end, and basically we call it what is it called? Freakin Curious. I'm just gonna ask you 5 random questions and just answer them on the first thought of your head. First one that pops up. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Perfect. Okay. All-time favorite food?
Burger.
Okay. What would be your dream car?
Oh, 1995, 96, 6-speed Toyota Supra.
Nice. All-time favorite actor? Do that.
Oh, time favorite. Okay, what's popping in my head? Favorite actor. Wow, that's a good question. I'm gonna wait. Give me some time. One that pops in my head, I'm gonna say Robin Williams.
Ooh, good choice.
That's a good one. IP Robin Williams. Is that question 3 or question 4? I lost count.
Those
3.
Those
Right?
3.
Those three. All right. Where would be your dream vacation spot?
A dream vacation spot would be Hawaii.
Hawaii. All right. Will the Yankees make a playoff this year?
Yes.
The answer is no.
That was my fastest answer.
Awesome. You want to tell everyone where they could find you on social media, where they could find the comic book and all that?
Absolutely. Right now, if everybody's interested in the comic book, it's ratsandcrowspublishing.com. You could, I think it's pretty long. I know the website, so you can go onto Google and you put Zombie with a Shotgun comic book, and it will come up, and it'll show Rats and Crows, and then there you'll be able to see whatever comic you want. Again, starts from $2.99 with digital all the way down to $17.99, which is the whole package, the 3 comics and a digital and a poster artwork. Also, if people want to know where I'm at, you can find me in every single social media, from Facebook and YouTube, Vimeo, Twitter, Tumblr, and everything. At the end of each, like Facebook.com/Zombie with a Shotgun. The best place that you can find me, though, is on Twitter. I have every day the daily updates of what's going on with Zombie with a Shotgun. So you can go on Zombie WA Shotgun, which is on Twitter, and you can ask me questions and follow me, I'll follow you back, and if anybody's interested. And again, if people don't know what Zombie with a Shotgun is, again, go Google it, put Zombie with a Shotgun. First episode comes up. Click on it. It's a little bit over 4 minutes. And at first 4 minutes, you'll be able to know if you like it or not. If you do, you'll be able to see us on all different social media outlets.
Perfect. Hilton, again, thank you so much for coming on. It's always fun to talk with you, and I hope you do come back with us when after the movie gets released. And I'm sure it's going to be a success, because if it's anything like web series, it's going to be entertaining. I look forward to seeing it wherever it's at. But it's always a pleasure to talk with you, and hopefully you do decide to come back.
Same here,
with us.
likewise. Appreciate it, and definitely any time I come back when the film is done, comic is out, definitely will come back and talk about it more.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Let's take a quick break, promote another podcast, and then we'll come back.
Looking for a podcast to listen to? Look up Geek Dig Pod. They've got comics, movies, music, video games, tech, or whatever your geeky little heart desires. Look them up at geekdigpod.com, on Instagram or Twitter at geekdigpod, on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, the Satchel Player, or Player FM. The Geek Dig podcast is part of the Tangent Bound, BS Podcast Network, and the We Be Geeks Network.
Okay, welcome back, guys. That was Hilton we just had on. Great guy, fun talking to him.
Always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're gonna move right along into what we always do at the end of our episodes, which is our weekly segment called This Freakin' State of Mind. As you guys know, we move through each state, give a little bit about it, facts about it. I get these facts come from the internet. If you don't believe me, go look them up yourself. I really don't care. That's how the world works nowadays. Everything's just pulled from the internet, where not everything is true. So, so moving right along. Last week we finished with the great state of what was it? Maryland? Yes, Maryland. And now we're moving on to the great state of Massachusetts. One of the first colonies, as we all know. I hope you should all know. I know there are some dumbasses out there that would not know that, but moving on. 552 original documents pertaining to the Salem witch trials in 1692 have been preserved and are still stored by the Peabody Excess Museum.
Weird.
Although over I kind of want to get if you can see them and read them. That'd be pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Although over 30 communities in the colonies eventually renamed themselves to honor Benjamin Franklin, the Massachusetts town of Franklin was the first and changed its name in 1778.
Wow.
I don't get what that means by that.
It sounds like it was the first town to name itself after Ben Franklin, and it changed its name from whatever it was before to Franklin just 2 years after the American War for Independence.
Oh, just like 30 towns changed their name?
Maybe. That's what it sounds like.
Okay. That makes more sense. Norfolk County is the birthplace of 4 U.S. presidents: John Adams, John Quincy Adams, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, and J.H.W. Bush. Were all born in Norfolk County, Massachusetts. There is a house in Rockport, Massachusetts, built entirely out of newspaper. I hope it doesn't rain. Or if it does, it's like very well sealed.
It's a town made completely out of newspaper?
It's a house.
A house, okay.
Not a town. That would be insane. So that's where all your junk newspapers go.
So I feel like I saw that person on Hoarders or something.
Right? Hingham's Derby Academy, founded in 1784, is the oldest coeducational school in the U.S. Hingham's First Parish Old Ship Church is the oldest church structure in the U.S. in continuous use as a place of worship. The Fig Newton, a beloved treat, was named after Newton, Massachusetts. The visible portion of Plymouth Rock is a lumpy fragment of glacial moraine about the size of a coffee table, with the date 1620 cut into its surface after being broken, dragged about the town of Plymouth by ox teams used to inspire revolutionaries. Sorry, there. How they have it written is weird. Though and reverently gouged and scraped by 19th century souvenir hunters, it is now at rest at the head of Plymouth Harbor.
Nice.
Yep. James Michael Curley was the first mayor of Boston to have an automobile. The plate number was 576, the number of letters in James Michael Curley. The mayor of Boston's official car still uses the same number on its plate. Yeah. Back in the good old year of 1634, Boston Common became the first public park in America.
Nice.
The creation of the Cape Cod National Seashore was formerly private town and state-owned land. Marked the first time the federal government purchased land for a park. Robert Goddard, inventor of the first liquid-fueled rocket, was born and lived much of his life in Worcester, and launched the first rocket fueled with liquid fuel from the neighboring town of Auburn. Glaciers formed the islands of Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard during the Ice Age. The first U.S. postal zip code in Massachusetts is 01001 at Agawam.
That messes with me.
What's that?
Postal codes that begin with 0 mess with me.
Why is that?
Including the one I live in.
Really?
Yeah, it feels weird. It's I don't know.
No, I can see it. Because you usually don't think of a zero. I mean, you just say a number.
Right.
Even if there's a zero in front of it.
Right.
I can see that. Brewster has become the de facto wedding capital of Cape Cod because it's many small and larger inns that cater to weddings. Harvard was the first college established in North America. Harvard was founded in 1636. Because of Harvard's size, there is no universal mailing address that will work for every office at the university.
Really?
Yeah. I wonder if that's changed by now. I mean, are you saying that every office building has a different address?
See, I always thought like, and obviously I don't know shit about like colleges and shit, but I always thought like small, like the older ones, Harvard, Yale, and all that, were like really small, like university campuses and stuff like that. I didn't think it'd ever be too big to have more than one mailing address.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. You know, the other weird thing is mailing addresses in this neck of the woods are pretty packed in. Like just in around where I live, there's probably 6 different possible mailing zip codes.
Really?
Yeah. So
Overachievers.
I know. New England, man. Crazy Yanks.
You do me just in like a city with multiple zip codes?
No, I mean like there's probably 6 towns within. It's almost it's actually really weird. So you know how like in the Chicagoland area you can drive for about 10 minutes and go through like 6 different little townships?
Yeah.
It's the same thing here, only there's less than half as many people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so that's what's weird about it. But anyway,
In 1838, the Boston and West Worcester Railroad was the first railroad to charge commuter fares. I hate to see what the inflation's been.
right?
The Boston University Bridge. This is a weird one. The Boston University Bridge on Commonwealth Avenue, Boston, is the only place in the world where a boat can sail under a train, driving under a car, driving under an airplane.
Weird.
You're right. The Children's Museum in Boston displays a giant milk bottle on the museum's wharf. If it were real, it would hold 50,000 gallons of milk and 8,620 gallons of cream. Barnstable County, the only Massachusetts county where residents' deaths outnumber births between 1990 and 1997. Wow, that's actually a decent period of time.
Mm-hmm.
In 1908, Miss Caroline O. Emerton purchased the House of Seven Gables, built in 1668, restored to its present state, and in 1910 opened the site to touring public. The seven-gabled house inspired Nathan Hawthorne to write his famous novel of the same name. Have you ever heard of it?
What was the name of the book?
House of Seven Gables?
No, I haven't. But it reminds me of like the Anne of Green Gables.
Oh.
But that's not Hawthorne, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massachusetts first began issuing driver's license and registration plates in June of 1903. The third Monday in April is a legal holiday in Massachusetts called Patriots' Day.
The third Monday in April?
Third Monday in April. William Hill Brown published The Power of Sympathy in Worcester in 1789, an imitation of Goethe's Sorrows of a Young Werther. It is regarded as the first American novel. Charles Goodyear in Woburn first vulcanized rubber in 1839. Elias Howe of Boston invented the first sewing machine in 1845. The first nuclear-powered surface vessel, USS Long Beach CGN-9, was launched at Quincy in 1961. This next one I actually know about. The USS Constitution Old Ironside, the oldest fully commissioned vessel in the U.S. Navy, is permanently berthed at Charlestown Navy Yard. Since 1897, the ship has been overhauled several times in Dry Dock 1. And you can actually, if you are a member of the U.S. Navy, you can actually get stationed at this ship.
Nice.
Yeah. It's more, I mean, obviously it's more dress wear. It's not working wear stuff.
Right.
Because it is just a, like, museum, basically.
Right.
Milford is known as world over for its unique pink granite discovered in 1870 and quarried for many years to grace the exteriors of museum, government buildings, monuments, and railroad stations. And with that leaves us at the end of our This Frickin' State of Mind. Thank you all for joining me this week on learning a little more about Massachusetts. It was fun, and come back next week for our next date. Until then, I hand you back over to you, Travis.
Perfect. Before we go into our closing segment of our Freak Week, our plugs and the quote, we had a discussion a week or so ago about a something new we want to do on our show, and I'm gonna let Jimmy kind of explain it to you.
Yeah, so as I understand it, once a month what we're planning to do is give out an award, the Follow Your Star Award, to, well, frankly, whoever you want to give it to. So if there's somebody out there that you feel like is really following their star, let us know about them. And we'll discuss it amongst ourselves, maybe throw some polls out on Twitter. And at the end of every month, we're going to, we decided the middle of every month. In the middle of every month, we're going to let you know who is the winner of the Follow Your Star Award.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to give acknowledgement and appreciation to people who basically, it's like Jeff says, follow their star. I mean, Jeff said that numerous times on our show, and it's what motivated us to do something like this on the show. Is following your star. People who are doing what they feel they need to do to either do something good or something to make their lives more. I think we actually have an idea who's going to get the first award. We're still going to discuss it. It's not going to be announced in the middle of it, like Joe said. Yeah, I mean, if you guys think of anyone who you think, made an impact in a certain way or did something to improve the life of others or even themselves or whatever, let us know. The awards is still for discussion. Like I said, this is brand new. We wanted to let you guys know about it. So if you want to get involved in it, just we'll create a hashtag. Joey, what should the hashtag be? I mean, I think hashtag follow your stars pretty long.
Yes, but I also love hashtag long hashtags, so.
Hashtag Starboy.
Ooh. I don't know. We'll figure out what the hashtag is and we'll put it out there for you.
Yeah, and you guys have the social media. I'll talk about the social media when we get to that point. We're not at that point yet, but in the meantime, Colin,
Yeah.
what freaking on this week?
This week I'm freaking on the fact that I'm actually going to be staying in the new place for multiple nights. It just happened that last week, right after I moved in, I stayed for one night and then I had to go house sit. So, yes, I can officially start staying at multiple nights, along with cleaning up. Right now, I've been working on finally organizing my movies back. So,
nice.
That will be my adventure for time being, and let's see how long it takes. I probably finish it tomorrow, but
Quite a bit of movies.
yeah, 766, I believe.
Yeah, 766 of them.
I could be off on that number by some, but
He could be off on that number.
I know it's over 700. So.
Definitely over 700. I don't know. I just want to be involved in some way.
How about you, Joe? What are you freaking on this week?
I am freaking on a Kickstarter I backed last month. I happened to back it in the last couple of hours of the campaign, but it was for a company called Holden Ties, which is a company in Canada that specializes in bow ties, and they were just trying to get off the ground. And at the level I backed, I basically got the deal of a lifetime on bow ties for a guy who likes bow ties. I got like 5 bow ties for like $25, which is, for brand new handmade bow ties, that's like Goodwill cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So it's awesome, and I'm very pumped about it. The patterns on them are very me. I got to pick them out earlier this week, and I am so excited to get them. I don't know when they're going to get here. Sometime in the next couple of months, I hope. But I'm really excited. And if you want to check it out, go to holdenties.ca.
What's CA mean?
Canada.
Oh, Canadian dollar. Okay.
Yep. So check it out. It's really the guy who does it does a fantastic job, as far as I can tell from the pictures. And the fabrics that he's picked out you're not going to find a bow tie like this at Macy's or Target or, even like a nice place, like if you were to go to like, help me out here, Men's Warehouse or something.
There we go.
You wouldn't find bow ties with patterns like this. So I'm just so
sure?
excited.
Because from my understanding, the Men's Warehouse, you will like the way you look.
You'll
guarantee it.
You'll like the way you look, but you're not going to have a bow tie with octopus tentacles and like roses. So, which is one of the patterns I chose because
I see that they made about 300%, almost 300% of their goal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Joe, maybe, I'm just saying, maybe if we're nice about it and we plug them on our Facebook, Twitter, and maybe throw something in the show notes about them, maybe we get their attention. We get them on the show, talk about bow ties.
I would love to do that.
Cool. So yeah, just make sure we put that in the show notes because it seems like pretty cool. And like we said, we're here to help other people. So throw them in the show notes. Maybe we'll find their social media and we'll talk to them. So do you want to come up and talk about bow ties? I mean, I don't know anything about bow ties. I know they make my head look big, but other than that,
are these like if you were to get yours, are they pre-made, like pre-tied?
You can get it either way.
Time yourself? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can choose to check out which way you'd like it.
Huh?
So.
Nice.
Yeah. I went self tie because that's the kind of bow tie guy I am. But
that's the kind of man he is.
He's just that skilled.
Yeah, and you can get them. There's the other cool thing is you can get them in different styles. Like if you don't want just the traditional butterfly shaped bow tie, you can get the diamond tipped or the really the jumbo butterfly, or a round tip. It's really neat. There's lots of different options. HoldenTies.ca. I'll put it in the show notes. Check it out. It's awesome. I'm very excited about it.
There are two types of people in this world: people who buy clip-on ties and men.
Love it. Travis, what are you freaking on this week?
Actually, what I'm freaking on this week is actually what I was freaking on last week as well. Is I'm trying to get everything together to launch this new podcast. Starting so this week I'm trying to get I got all social media done. For it, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook and stuff like that. We got the email address all set up. Like I said, I used thisfreakinshow.com. There's a link off to the right for it and everything. So we're getting that situated. Now I just gotta talk with the people who are getting involved in the show, figure out the editing process that we're gonna have to do. Getting ready for our first show in a couple weeks, and all that. This Saturday, I think we're gonna hit up another wrestling event. So that's gonna be pretty much all I'm gonna do between sleeping all day, working all night, and trying to squeeze what I can in, where I can, pretty much, to make sure this goes off smoothly. Because last thing I want to do is look foolish, like I did when I interviewed Hilton and forgot the fuck what I was doing.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yes, I mean, luckily, doing this with you guys and everything kind of helped me with some of the knowledge that comes into a show. Like I said, I'm not gifted, I'm not Derek, so editing this show is going to be a bitch and a half, but, we'll figure it out and go from there, and who knows, like I said, maybe if everything goes well, we could start establishing a network, which is what I'm hoping to do, hopefully by the end of the year, but you need more than 2 podcasts to build a network, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Every week, our listeners could catch Geek Cast Joe here on this freaking show, but for some reason, only one episode of Geek Cast Joe a week isn't enough for them. Where can they find you?
If one episode of a week of Geekcast Joe isn't enough for you, you can find me over at the Geekcast Live podcast at gcl.ninja. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, YouTube, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Nice. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like I've said numerous times, you can find this freaking show on social media, websites such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, just by searching this freaking show. Go to our website, thisfreakinshow.com, where it shows, it gives you a list of all the guests we had on, all the amazing guests we've had on our show, such as Hilton that we had on this evening. Also gives you an idea of what we're up to, event-wise, where we're going to be and everything. I know C2E2 is still in the talks. It hasn't been officially stated yet if we're going, but we're still working on that, trying to figure that all out. If you have a comment, concern, question that you want to let us know about for the show, you can email us at thisfreakinshow@yahoo.com. Go to the contact section of thisfreakinshow.com and just send it there. Or go on Twitter, use the hashtag freaking saying, and we'll find it from there. And if you use that hashtag, we will, mention it on the show. That's what we do. Because it's our show, and we can do shit like that. We do what we want. We don't have producers tell us what to do. Fuck that. Yeah, we're free-spirited here. Also, as a cheap plug, like I said, I'm starting up a new podcast, JFW Podcast, Just Freaking Wrestling, all about indie wrestling and a little bit of pro wrestling as well. And you can find them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well, just by searching JFW Podcast. To end the show tonight on another Will Rogers quote. Let's see here. Where's a good one? Here's one that kind of reminds me of Carl. I never met a man I didn't like.
I never met a man I didn't like.
Yeah, I know Carl used to, I think he said he got it from his dad, but his favorite quote is, I never met a stranger.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit because everyone's a stranger before you meet them. So, just fun fact for Carl there. I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I hope you have a good night. As always, I am Trasty.
I'm Aquatel.
And I'm Geek Cast Joe.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of this freaking show. I'm out.